Tax credit and rebates are always important, and Georgia has a very outstanding lure to Hollywood productions to come here.
You know, everything from New York City to Chicago to, we've done San Francisco and Atlanta, we've done Los Angeles and Atlanta, San Diego and Atlanta.
And we fell in love with the incredible crews that Georgia has to offer.
I mean, one of the big issues, of course, is that it is Christmas and it's July in Atlanta.
So many came running up to hug me and say, "We're so glad you're back. This was our favorite production of the year. We're so proud of it."
We went for the real, and I think that comes from Dolly on down to us, the real story.
One of the things that I think any film that deals in a period, one of its main objectives has to be to transport its audience into that time period. And I think that the storefronts and the type of cars that we parked in the street and had driving by, the Christmas decorations, vintage Christmas decorations, all took us back to Christmas 1955.
For me, the challenge was to take a modern day city block in suburban or rural Atlanta and turn it not only into 1955 Appalachian Tennessee, but then to add a top layer of Christmas on top of it in about 7 or 8 days of work. So
the store, I have to say, as difficult in the crunch time that we had, we loved all of those pieces and researching them, and so you really start to become, you know, passionate about it, and that's what drives us, I think, is that we love it so much and really, really, you know, take the time to look for the perfect thing.
We did extensive research on items that were sold in the 1950s. Because we talk about rings and we talk about Christmas toys for the children, we wanted to be sure that the prices affixed to them were accurate.
So things down to like the tinsel, we actually got vintage tinsel to put on the trees because it's very different style than it is now, and all of that lighting and all original. And you know, it was really important to get everything as authentic as possible in the 50s.
But fortunately for us shooting here in the South, we do have access to a lot of the type of things that they would have had there that predate the film as well as go up to 1955.
For most of the people in the town, and particularly the people that lived in the mountain areas, you can almost backdate them as far as how they look. You would think when you're looking at photographs and doing your research that you're looking at pictures from the 30s, not from the 50s or even from the 20s.
I think for me, the thing that helped a lot was being able to do more exterior Sevierville, which we shot in downtown Covington, Georgia. That sort of allowed us to bring 1955 into the story a little bit more than when you're just relegated to the Parton cabin.
And we created what Christmas might have looked like in a little small town in America in 1955.
But mixed with all the street, like the Christmas decorations on the town streets, and then you add in all the extras and the actors in their heavy cloaks and hats and scarves and everything. It sells Christmas immediately. We're all standing back there sweating and watching it.
It feels like the community that Dolly grew up in Sevierville, Tennessee. I have been there with Dolly. I have seen what Sevierville looks like. And the city of Covington is being doubled as Sevierville. And we're not having to do very much in terms of changes to make it look like Sevierville. I am so proud of this franchise. I am so proud that our first movie, Coat of Many Colors, was such a critical and rating success. You know, when you think about 20 million people watching the very first Coat of Many Colors, 7 months ago, it's no surprise that we had the opportunity to do a sequel.
Who'd have thought that, that saving that coat would have led to what's going on today? I mean, it's unbelievable. Just a simple thing that her mother made for her out of scraps and remnants has evolved so many years later into 2 films thus far. Amazing.
But the thing about this movie is that not only did it showcase the story of Dolly Parton, but it showcased the state of Georgia beautifully. And when I think of what we want to offer our audience in terms of Christmas of Many Colors, is an open-armed welcome into the life of Dolly Parton and into these beautiful locations in Georgia, which have made our movies come to life.